Hi you guys, I'm just gonna do this prelude video, and then just in case I don't have enough time on here, I'll give you guys the information to do it yourself. I'm waiting for the traffic to go by. So anyway, if you read the parable, not the parable, read the account of when Jesus is explaining to them, no man knows the day or the hour but my Father. Now, that bugged me, and Joshua, I know he alluded to that, but I didn't get it. I didn't understand what he was saying. So, because, yeah, it's the feast that no man knows the day or the hour, but I couldn't reconcile the part that said, no one knows but my Father only. So, then, I don't know. So, if you want to look this up yourself, when you go back and read that, and he says that, instead of reading that, replace all those words with the wedding. Because I watched the Global Rapture Watchers video with Heather and Shelly, and they were giving all of the names of the Feast of Tabernacles. They have it has like 6 names, and one of the names is the wedding. In fact, all of them. Okay, so you may say, I still can't reconcile because in a Galilean wedding, nobody knows. Okay, about the Father. But I'll tell you in a minute. First, I want to spit this out. Is when you go and read all that stuff, like first they're going to deliver you up to the police and don't worry about what to say. And you know what I just realized? I don't care which gospel it is. He's talking to Jewish disciples. So to me, he's talking to Jewish people that are left behind. Because this is twofold. No one knows, right? Because the Feast of... Now, he's coming back on the Day of His Atonement. But it's twofold. The disciples were asking, when is the end? Meaning the end of the tribulation. They said the end. The end. When is the end? So Jesus answered them by that, the end, which is going to be the end of the tribulation. So he's answering them with all that stuff that's going to happen in the trib, right? So what he's really saying is, you guys are going to be dead. They didn't know it yet. 2,000 years are going to pass. You don't know that yet. And what he's saying it for is for the people that it's going to happen to, which it will happen to the Jews and the Gentiles that are unsaved, left behind in the trib. Okay? Because these mid-tribbers and post-tribbers got it all wrong, right? So when you read those verses about that and you say, oh, well, this hasn't happened yet, that hasn't happened yet, that's stuff that's going to happen in the trib. Some of it's going to happen only to the Jews. And if you also look at it like this, it has already happened. For 2,000 years, the Jews have been beat down, the Holocaust. But even before the Holocaust, they were beat down and rejected by everybody, okay? And they, were even given up by their own, and they pretended they weren't Jews, some of them. Just like in the Native American Indians, Native Americans, Indians, there were some that pretended they weren't Indians so that they could be part of, way back after the pioneer. Okay, I'm digressing. I'm almost at the store, but if I don't get back on here to explain about the Jewish wedding, which everybody already knows about, no man knows the day or the hour. Almost there, Bob. But also, only my Father knows. Now, you're not only going to replace that. Oh, are they closed? Maybe I will have to go to Walmart. Okay, maybe they won't replace that with the Jews. Oh, like only my Father knows, the wedding. Okay, so never mind. I'll just get back on here. I'll read a comment that I wrote to Selma. Hi, Selma. Where am I? It's dark. I don't have night blindness or anything, but my gosh, they don't paint these lines very well. But anyway, then, so no one knows but the Father. And I have it all written out on how that is the case. And, okay, first of all, I'm going to let you know one thing. When I'm not going to let you know, you already know. When the son goes to his father, when he's finished building the mansions, what the heck? I thought it was just one car, and now I'm on a bunch of bumps. I'm sorry to take you guys on this joyride with me, but sorry. So, when the son is done with his mansions for us, the addition on the home for the bride, then he went away for 2 years to build on his father's house. Then he tells the dad, he's like, I'm done. Come inspect it, Father. Right? He says, Father, inspect my house for the bride. He comes and inspects it, and then he says, I approve. Go and get your bride. Right? So the son now knows, but the bride not yet. Because he hasn't told her. He doesn't pick up the phone. Hey, honey, daddy approved. So, he knows. And there isn't telepathy either. So, how did I say this? He knows he's been approved by the Father. So, he doesn't just jump up and run out the house and run and go get her. No, he gets all his groomsmen together to blow the trumpets, to walk down the procession and walk to her, blowing the horns and making the music and in the procession. So he gathers all them up, right? The bride still doesn't know. Now, as he's coming down the road, getting closer and closer and closer, the bridesmaids can hear the trumpets. Now, the bridesmaids are a long way off because they've got to light the way for the groom and his procession, hence wicks and oil in their lamps. That's why they're sleeping on the street. So when they hear those trumpets and the band and everything, and that the groom is on his way in the midnight hour, they wake up. They start lighting the way. When the groom and the bride and the groomsmen getting closer, the bride can now hear the trumpets that he's on his way. Now, if it's true that she sleeps in her wedding gown because she knows that about after a year or 2 years or a year and a half, the groom should be done with the house, because there was a set time. They didn't make the woman wait indefinitely. There was a time frame when he was going to build that house. So she is now, okay, so she's awakened out of sleep. So she now knows. She now knows. He's way down the road, but she can hear him coming, right? You know that saying, I can hear him coming. So that resembles, once Jesus has been told by the Father, go get your bride, the mansions are done, and I approve of the mansions, he then tells our spirit, the bride, resembling the bride is in her house. She hears those trumpets from afar. She knows he's coming on his way. Go jump up in that carriage that's held up in the air. In the air. The bride is held up in the air. She gets on that thing, and he's coming toward her, and she starts coming toward him. So once she is prepared, because she was asleep in the midnight hour, she was prepared. Okay, do you get what I'm saying? This is how the bride does know. And this is also how you don't need to read it like, no man knows the day or the hour, but only my Father knows. Don't read it that way. Insert the names. The wedding, she named off all of the things it's called. The gates of heaven are open. The other stuff. So just read up in there, the wedding. But still, you may have a hard time reconciling, only the Father knows. Well, I just explained it to you. I just explained it to you how the bride will know. The Jesus in us will alert us that he's on his way down the street with his procession, blaring, blasting their horns, The bridesmaids have awakened. The 5 unwise have gone to buy some oil. But yet we're standing there with the lights on while he drives by. And the bride is hearing it now. And she is getting upon her little airborne carriage. And voila, the bride now knows. The father knows, the son knows, and the bride knows. And that's what's happening now. Okay? Okay. So just, if I don't do another video, that's all you need to do. Go reread that and read up in there the wedding instead of no man knows. And it also means that feast. Also, all those verses that seem like they're inserted out of order, no, really not. It is about the 2,000 years worth of holocausts, purgams, purgams, is it? Kind of like Esther, they were trying to annihilate. Every generation, they're trying to annihilate the Jews. That's what that is. And it's twofold. When is the end of the 7-year tribulation and when is the rapture? The end. It's also twofold. What has happened for these 2,000 years to the Jews, purgams and Holocaust? And it's twofold. What is now going to happen to the Jews in Jacob's trouble and the Gentiles left behind? Okay? It's twofold. When will the end of time be? Meaning the end of the tribulation. But also, when is the end going to be for the bride? Okay? You got it? Does that make sense? It made sense to me. Because I like to have my puzzle pieces, okay? I don't like people trying to naysay and then I don't have an answer of explanation. And this Feast of Trumpets, no man knows the day or hour, wasn't hitting all cylinders for me. Because it's still the fact that it's compared to a Galilean wedding and no one knows but my daddy. And that is how I explain that, or how God explained it to me like 20 minutes ago. Okay, bye. God bless you guys. Bye.